Let me give you the lineups for both sides. For Hull City today, Matt Ingram in goal. The back three of Alfie Jones, Figueiredo and Jacob Greaves, who they signed down Hull City to a longer-term contract. Perhaps the best piece of business they've done in the window. Louis Coyle returns today from injury. Ryan Woods and Regan Slater in the centre. Callum Elder on the left. Tufan, of course, is someone who catches the eye with his creativity behind Oscar Estepinian and Teta up front. And for Sheffield United, Wes Foderingham in goal. Back three of Anil Ahmedhodzic, who scored 2 last time out. Not bad for a defender. John Egan at the centre of the back three, and Norrington Davis on the left-hand side. The midfield of George Baldock, Oliver Norwood, Tommy Doyle, the young Manchester City loanee, and Max Lowe on the left-hand side. Then Sander Berger behind Oliver McBurney and Iliman Ndiaye. Well, Sheffield United starting to flex their championship muscles in a season that many would have them down as league favourites after an opening day defeat to Watford. They've risen stealthily up the table and they look a force to be reckoned with. Norwich nudged the Blades off TalkSport yesterday in another gripping game day on TalkSport, and of course Reading have nudged them down to third after their results today. So can Paul Higginbottom's men respond here at the MKM? Hull have impressed in their own way. New owner Akun Ilikali has overseen a significant change in the players' ranks. Shota Abelanzi looks to be piecing together an effective side. Let's take you through the two teams before kick-off. And for Hull City, Matt Ingram continues in goal. Alfie Jones, Figueiredo and Jacob Greaves are the back three. And Greaves, well, they were desperate to keep him here. They've done that with a long-term contract, but he was linked with a move away. But now he says he feels very much at home for the future here. A return for Louis Coyle on the right-hand side of the midfield. Ryan Woods and Regan Slater in the centre, and Callum Elder on the left-hand side. And then the skill of Tufan behind Tete and Estepinian. And Hull City, of course, in their tiger stripes today, the orange and black with black shorts. For Sheffield United, no change from last time out, the 4-0 win over Reading. Wes Foderingham in goal. It's Anil Ahmedhodzic on the right side of a back three. John Egan and Norrington Davis complete the defence. Midfield of George Baldock, who does make it. There was an injury concern after the last game, but he's okay to start. Oliver Norwood and Tommy Doyle, the centre two, with Max Lowe down the left-hand side. Very effective with his run. Sander Berger is the man positioned just off Ollie McBurney and Iliman Ndiaye. Well, getting in a huddle together at the moment, the Sheffield United players. Hull City ready to commence things. Your referee is Mr. Donoghue today. And it is a bumper crowd, and it's the largest crowd for 5 years at Hull City. So maybe the good times are returning. Sit back and enjoy. It's championship action at its very best. Will it be Sheffield United going top, or will it be Hull City with what would be seen as a surprise win? We're underway as the ball's swept out wide to Ollie McBurney on the right-hand side. George Baldock involved, and then breaking forward is Iliman Ndiaye towards the corner flag on the right-hand side. He's hemmed in, but he manages to get the early cross in, and that is headed away or just about clear by Alfie Jones.
Well, you just look at that there, I think straight from the kick-off, McBurney, the confidence is there, back winning that first header, keeping it alive. What does he do? Knows that the service is coming in from one of the wide areas. A little bit overhit that time, but always going to be a threat, and in, like I say, on fantastic form at the minute as well.
Chrissy Wellamo, former Wolves and Scotland man alongside me as Hull City tried to break through the centre with Tete. Didn't quite have the turn and the spin. It took a helpful nudge in terms of Sheffield United back towards their keeper, Wes Foderingham. We're goalless after just a minute, but it's got all the bright signs of a good game evolving as these teams go end to end within a minute and a half. And Hull City being buoyed on by their fans here. And just before we got underway, Chris was telling me about some of the great feats that he had in his career against Hull City, including a game in which he scored 4.
Against Hull, actually, I think I always get reminded of it when I come back to the media. The Hull media boys give me a kind of hard time, but in the championship as well, it was a Tuesday night game, one that I'll remember for the rest of my days.
Managerial sacking, would you believe it?
Oh, good friend as well.
Callum Elder, throw down the left-hand side, comes back off Estepinian. Elder once again tries to get involved, but that is hooked clear by Sheffield United and Sander Berger doing some defensive duties. Ball bounces high to Berger on this near side right touchline again. It goes out of play. So in terms of where the teams are kicking, Hull from right to left towards the north stand, Sheffield United to the south stand. The stand facing us, the Chris Chilton stand. On this near side of the pitch, it's a throw in for Elder, and he plays it short. Comes back to him, and now Regan Slater along the floor, involved in a 1-2 to get to the dead ball line, left side of the Sheffield United goal. He's hemmed in towards that corner flag. A really good bit of pressing there done by Sheffield United and George Baldock.
But again, I think there's an opportunity for the ball to go in the box. Regan Slater, fantastic play, a little give and go, gets it back, good strength, and invites that challenge from Baldock. But you can overplay in those wide areas. There's 3-4 bodies for Hull in the box there. Go put it in, ask the question.
Callum Elder throw, and the header is from Oscar Estepinian. And I tell you what, he didn't have much of an opportunity there. He sort of leant back, but his neck muscles must have been bulging with the way he got that goalwards.
It was excellent movement from Estepinian there as well, though, but he had a lot of work to do, Stephen. I think he had to kind of get his head around it and try and guide it goalwards and put the pace on the ball, because there was nothing on the kind of flick on.
Other end of the field, Ndai trying to create something, and Max Lowe up there causing pressure for the Hull City defenders. They've won a throw-in over on the left-hand side. Early result from the midday kick-off in the Championship. Reading 2, Stoke 1, a result which has put Reading in second place. As this one at the moment, after a couple of minutes play, is goalless. Hull City defending their corner with Louis Coyle. And Sheffield United almost regained possession down the left-hand side. Now it's cleared up towards Tete, but he's still inside his own half, and Hull struggling to break through the ranks, and Sander Berger's won it back at distance. He looks for goal himself, and he shot it low, and it skimmed over that turf and just wide left of Matt Ingram's goal.
Well, again, it's just they're on it without the ball. They press very well. I think the challenge was made. Sander Berger gets in there, gets control of the ball. I think it's the wrong decision for me. He has that quality from distance, but you'll be disappointed he's not hit the target. He wasn't really kind of pressed.
Ollie McBurney just tried to flick it off to Ndai. I think Ndai felt that he was a better option than the shot from Berger. Here's Hull on the counter-attack. Tete straining to get to the ball near the corner flag, but winning the chase down there is Amel Hodzic. The ball nearly went out into touch, and now it comes back onto the halfway line, and Hull City fight. There's a little bit of a fierce attitude between the teams down there at the moment.
There is.
They're getting stuck into each other.
Well, that's part of it. You've got to go out there. You're not just going to sit back and allow the other team to impose their game on you. So I've already seen a couple of challenges go in on McBurney. Alfie Jones kind of manhandled him there, and it was similar. I think it was the same two there. So that's part and parcel. I used to thrive. I used to love it. When the centre back's doing your little dig in the back as the ball's up the other end of the pitch. That's the game has changed massively, Stephen.
Some like it, some don't. But you, Chris, were definitely one of those who thrived off it. Here's Fodringham out of the Sheffield United goal. It's not your classic Yorkshire derby, but it is a Yorkshire derby nonetheless. Different things at stake for these two sides. Sheffield United looking for top spot. Hull City's ambitions, well, a decent finish to this season would be top 10. Of course, they just don't want to be scrapping down the bottom again. 19th place finish last season. Here's Ndiaye, just in front of the centre circle. Releases for Berger, out wide to the right-hand side. Oliver Norwood, such a hard worker. Back into Berger again. Norwood once more. Just feeds it behind him to Baldock. Baldock to Norwood. Great interplay. It's wide on the right-hand side for Amel Hodzic. Scored 2 in his last game for Sheffield United. Rolls it square. There's a shot. And that shot by Tommy Doyle just caused the keeper for a moment or two to have a little flicker, but he did catch it with both hands. He's not shy, Tommy Doyle. We mentioned once or twice he's a loanee from Manchester City. They can afford to let massive talent come out and learn.
Yeah, but you can see his quality. Definitely on to take the shot on, hit the target. That's all you can ask. But clever play. The interchanges, the likes of Norwood, everything goes through him. I'll be surprised if most opposition teams that come up against him, they don't think, like, man mark him. You keep Norwood quiet, you keep Sheffield United quiet, because he honestly starts everything off.
And here he is, Norwood to Ndiaye, and then Berger. Sheffield United with the dominance on the ball so far in the opening 7 minutes of the game. They're just sort of whirring into action and keeping possession far more clinically.
Yeah, well, I think I'm impressed more without the ball. You know, I think as soon as Hull get it, they're basically going light for man. Look at here, Tommy Doyle getting right in the face, putting pressure on, and that's exactly what you want from them. You know, Alfie Jones receiving it from the goalkeeper there, and don't give Hull a minute to breathe. But again, if Hull have the quality to play through that press, then straight away you earn that respect. Sheffield United will sit off them, and then that's when you see the quality of Hull City as well.
Louis Coyle, the captain for Hull, with the throw in on the right hand side. Tete's available, he puts it infield and onto the feet of Tufan, who returns today after a couple of games missing with a hamstring injury, and the ball is punted backwards. It's going to come to the edge of the Hull City box, and Ollie McBurney chases and then just lets the keeper Matt Ingram know that he's about. I'm not really sure that Ingram needed to do that. Ollie McBurney just wanted to shave up against him. McBurney seems to have been indicated that he might have hurt himself, or whether he's just trying to divert the referee's attention.
And it's worked, hasn't it? Because he's not received a card there. You know, I think on another day the referee, and I think it's the right decision that the officials now are letting a little bit more go. You know, because if he received the yellow card there, the game of Oliver McBurney, you know, it changes, because he likes that physicality as well, and
it's a pointless one to concede, isn't it, really?
Definitely.
Chris Iwelumo alongside me, former Wolves and Scotland man, and we're very much intrigued by what will be the outcome here at the MKM Stadium on TalkSport 2 as Hull City take on Sheffield United, and it is goalless after 8 minutes play. Hull with the ball in the very centre. Ryan Woods over to the right hand side. Alfie Jones, who had to feature in midfield in the last game, prods it backwards, nearly intercepted by Sheffield United. In fact, the linesman on that far side has given it Sheffield United's way. Norrington Davis hands it to Max Lowe to take the throw. That direct throw low and infield nearly dropped for Ollie McBurney, but intercepted by Hull City. But Sheffield United quicker to things. McBurney involved in a little bit of bustling, and it breaks out for Tommy Doyle. Doyle to the wing, the cross comes in from Norrington Davis, not cleared by Hull City. Sander Berger tried to lay it off for George Baldock, but didn't put enough weight on the pass, and that's allowed Hull City to break down the left hand side. But look how hard Sander Berger works to actually come and win that ball back off Ozan Tufan.
He just makes it look easy. It's one of them. I don't understand. He's took a shot from 30 yards about 5 minutes ago. He's in the 18-yard box. He's honestly 14 yards from goal. There's no one around him, and it's that pure pass with the outside of the right foot. Pass it to him if you're going to pass it to him, or get the shot away there. But then he did react very well, gets possession back, and then comfortable in possession, keeps it in, and they build from there.
As you say, he looks like he glides, so he's on the edge of the box, he's on the halfway line, but he doesn't look like he's broken stride, Chris.
And that was chasing Slater, who was going at full pelt with the ball, I have to say. But he does have a lot of qualities, Stephen. I just want to see it consistently, because you know what, if you do see it consistently, then you are talking about the Premier League clubs watching every game, seeing if he has that mindset, that character, but he definitely possesses the quality.
Well, I'm not sure whether this is a possible change for Hull City, because they have a man down at the moment. Of course, their injury list is extensive at the moment. Adama Traore, Jean-Michel Seri, who they thought might be returning, some of the new signings as well already on that injury list. They could well do without any more, but at the moment they have a player down, and the physio is trying to resolve the situation.
Well, he's doing the inside medial check on
Benjamin Tete. I think it is. It's Tete who's on the floor. So that, if that is the case, Chris, and you've diagnosed that correctly,
well, you can tell with the two hands on the head that the player's in a lot of discomfort, and that's not a good sign at all. Usually he's sat up and they're doing that mobility check, but I think the decision has been made, isn't it? They're asking him now. You can tell by the players' reaction that he's not comfortable at all.
So a change for Shota Avaladze, the Hull City coach, who's presided over such a positive change.
Well, in saying that, I'm looking at the subs now, and no one's trying to get a second wind.
No one has raced from the technical area to warm up, have they? But unless the physios have relayed some information, Benjamin Tete certainly not turning as yet to walk to this near side touchline.
Well, he's just tried to stand on it there, Stephen. And
there we go. There's Ryan Longman, who's coming off the bench. So they've not got any natural like-for-like change within this Hull City squad because injury has deprived them of so many.
It has. Longman I'm a big fan of as well. You know, I think for the positions that he gets himself in, the chances that he gets on the end of, his goal return needs to be more for me. But this is a big blow. Tete has that explosiveness to get in behind. You know, I think straight away you look at the back three of Sheffield United, they'll be delighted. Longman, he's a good footballer, but it's all in front of you as well. So again, the dynamic changes a little bit for Hull City, but he is a good player coming on. But the physicality and the presence of Tete as well, that is a massive loss. Yeah,
Benjamin Tete walking very tenderly towards this near side. The board is up, 30 off Tete, and coming on Ryan Longman. And maybe Hull City might slightly change formation up top. Of course, the man leading the line for them, Oscar Estepinian, very much the focal point. Maybe Longman might operate from the right. We'll wait and see. We're back underway. When things go bad for you as a manager in terms of injuries racking up, they don't tend to ease. It tends to get worse.
Well, it usually does. You're putting more pressure on your squad and your group, aren't you? If you're a little bit thin, so straight away players are probably playing a little bit more, not having that rest and recovery which they all need. So yeah, usually then a few more injuries, albeit, but I think that one's more knee than like calves and strains from exertion.
Goalless, 14 minutes played. It's TalkSport 2. Chris Iwelumo alongside myself, Steve Hothersall. Hull City against Sheffield United. The weather here, not too bad for a day on the East Coast. Lovely view out to the top of the MKM Stadium. The vista of Hull in front of us and down on the pitch. These two teams fighting it out for 3 precious points. Throw down the right-hand side by Coyle for Hull City, but Estepinian can't feed off it, and then the ball blasted back towards him, and Coyle, the captain for the Tigers, heads it out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Sheffield United at their left-back position.
Well, I'm looking at Hull in possession, and I've got to say, you've got to be looking at Tufan all the time. He's not received the ball at all. You know, for the quality that he's got, everything, again, the importance of, I've said already about Norwood for Sheffield United. Tufan, you know, he's like he's hiding at the minute. I know he's come back from injury, but you've got to just go out there and give it everything. Get him on the ball, because he has the ability to make things happen. And I put it down to the Sheffield United press at the minute. They're not really allowing the Hull heads to get up and maybe play that pass, but know that he's always on. Know that he's got the quality to find those little pockets. You know, so get him on the ball. He's not really touched it much. He's not really done anything with it, which is surprising with the minutes that were played so far.
Tufan has scored a terrific counter-attacking goal at Burnley. 2 goals for himself this season. Be interesting to see, and we talked about it off air, the durability of some of the players that have come from the Turkish league. But as you said to me, it's a pretty powerful league in itself. So,
yeah, well, you look at the leagues and I guess the physicality and the intensity. You know, there's not many that are up there with the English. But you look at Turkish football. You know, they are physical, they are aggressive. You know, that intensity of their game is quite good. It's not, albeit there are teams that the possession game like we do have here. But I think the players, I think it's the number of games that we play, including cup games, that it can be an overhaul of games.
Egan just attempted a crossfield ball for Baldock on the right, headed out to play by Hull, so Sheffield United take the throw. And here's Ollie McBurney next to the 18-yard line, hooked away. Sheffield United are caught on the break, and Hull City break down the left-hand side. Estepinian's in the box. The ball is with Tufan on the left side, but the flag has been raised and the whole home crowd thought that was the moment. The two skillful players that are maybe the stars, if you like, of the squad were combining to break clear, and then the linesman ruined their moment.
Well, it's Ryan Longman just took too long. Tufan made a fantastic run down the left-hand side. It's got to be released straight away. He's trying to hold his run. He's trying to hold it. He's offside. We can see it from here that he's offside. So Longman has to then take it on himself. When he gives him the ball, he just has to release it a little bit earlier there, Longman.
Berger, lovely pirouette and turn, and then he drives directly towards the corner flag. Regan Slater's trying to hold him, but making it look easy. Berger to Ndai onto his left foot, tried to take the shot. It's ricocheted straight into the legs of Figueiredo, and Sheffield United will come again. They are relentless. They've shown that in the league this season. There's a cross in from the right, just in front of Ollie McBurney. That was lovely from George Baldock. And McBurney, if he was a yard forward, would have made easy work of scoring the first goal in the game.
And it's all from Norwood again. He sees that little fantastic pass to Baldock, and to take it first time, McBurney has to get on the end of that. You know, I think he knows his player, he knows what Baldock's quality has. You know, he knows that's coming in on the volley, and it bounced twice across the face of Ingram there. So McBurney has to react to that and get some sort of contact in the back area there, Stephen.
Alfie Jones earns a throw-in on the right-hand side of his penalty area, with again the Sheffield United press proving so effective. I wonder how many teams in the Championship can cope with these methods that Sheffield United use.
Well, you know, the thing is, I've seen them up against Middlesbrough a couple of weeks ago, and what an excellent game. Both so good without the ball, but with it again expansive. Just look at Sanderberger again, just so comfortable, just finds his space, basically by standing still sometimes.
Baldock with a long ball forward from Dye, and
he's kept in.
He has, hasn't he? It's going to be a throw-in next to the corner flag. I thought that had gone out.
I thought it was out.
Well, that's terrific, you have to say, from the whole perspective. Jacob Greaves, and it will be a throw to Sheffield United. I'm not sure that's where the ball went out, but actually Sheffield United play on. They're in all white. And George Baldock makes that throw to Sanderberger. Now it comes back, whipped in by Norwood to Ollie McBurney. He's climbing all over the back of the player behind him, Louis Coyle. And the ball breaks out to Norrington Davies, who's on the left-hand side. He's got help from Max Lowe, but Norrington Davies now gives it to him near the corner flag. Played infield towards Ollie McBurney. Right footed, tries a shot and scores! And it's 3-3 for Ollie McBurney. There's no stopping him now. 43 games without a goal, and now 3 consecutive games where he scored. A snapshot with the right foot. It came at the near side post of Matt Ingram, and it creeps in to give Sheffield United the lead at Hull. And it's a goal that might just take them back top of the Championship. Hull City 0, Sheffield United 1.
Well, it's like you say, it's a player that's on form, that's taking things on that he wouldn't usually take on. I think Matt Ingram's got to have a good look at himself there. I think he probably seen it a little bit late. There was a lot of bodies in front. I'm sitting thinking that he's going to try and feel it into the top right hand corner. He'd opened the goal up for himself, but he snapped it at it and went near post. Fantastic goal, on form. You'll be delighted with it, but I think the goalkeeper has to really look at himself there. Not really a great contact, was it?
I don't think he should be beaten there.
Yeah, even when he's diving for it, you're still thinking he's going to get something on it. So I don't understand how it's actually got into it. We don't have the luxury of having monitors to have another look at that one there, but I think we'll be disappointed, Matty Ingram.
Well, it shows how much confidence is a part of the game of football.
Massive.
Ollie McBurney couldn't dig himself out of a hole or sniff a goal for 43 games. He must have been questioning his talent or where the path would end, and look at it now.
He was getting asked to do something, play in a different way. He was getting asked to be that link-up player.
Well, there's the Hull City captain, Louis Coyle, trying to come infield past Max Lowe, who's fouled him in the process.
Well, that's a yellow card. I can't believe the referee's just having a word. He's stopping the cross from coming in. There's 5 Hull shots in the box. If anything, if he actually gets by Max Lowe there, he's running into the 18-yard box as well. That has to be a yellow card. I understand they're trying to let things go, but come on.
A little bit much, a little bit too lenient from Mr. Donoghue, today's referee. 21 minutes played on TalkSport 2, Hull City 0, Sheffield United 1. We're top of the league, sing the Sheffield United fans, and they currently are. An ever-changing top of the championship table. Surely this Sheffield United side will have the drive and quality to see it to the end this season. Now then, free kick for Hull City. Estepinian waits in the box, as does Ryan Longman on as a sub. The cross comes in, the header flicks just off Alfie Jones and over the top of the crossbar.
Oh, wow.
Home fans felt that was a corner, but the referees awarded a goal kick.
It's honestly, how is it possible that the officials can't see that that's come off the back of Sander Berger there? Alfie Jones has headed it. It's come off Sander Berger and went over the bar. If it doesn't come off Sander Berger, it's asking the question of Foderingham. We can see it blatantly, can't we?
It's a terrible decision. It really is. Norrington Davis sends it forward for the Blades. And on the halfway line, just opening up the space, waiting for things, is Patrick Berger, but great work done by the interception from Ahmed Hodzic. His ball was too powerful forward for the goal scorer, McBurney. And it's with Jacob Greaves now, but Greaves is bottled off the ball by McBurney, and really enjoying watching his work rate and his confidence rising from the Sheffield United number 9.
It's so important, isn't it? You know, goals as a striker. You know, when you're going through a dry spell, when the manager or staff say to you, you just make sure you're doing everything else. It's all about scoring goals, Stephen, trust me. You know, you don't feel the same, you don't feel part of it. Wins if you've played a game and you've not scored. And it would have been a real difficult period with having COVID and the injuries that he's had, but you know what, he's come back, and you can see how emotional that he gets when he scores, because that feeling, there's nothing better in football.
And talking about goals in the Premier League today, Brighton 3, Leicester 2 at the moment. Brighton started the day in 4th. What an incredible start to the season they've had. Leicester City rooted to the foot of the table. I'm sure there'll be plenty more. Here's Sander Berger as the ball breaks free past the defence. Keeper's come out and Ingram's lost. Berger tries to lay it back, and Hull City somehow have got that ball away.
Again, fantastic quality from Sander Berger. You know, he's got there. He was always getting there first as well. I'm surprised he's not just done a little tic-tac round Matt Ingram and steered it goalwards. But then he's got his head up, and I need more from McBurney. I know he's just scored the goal. I need more from Ndiaye there. He's got to break his neck and get in front of his man. Sander Berger, as soon as he put the ball across, Stephen, he's got his hands saying, well, what else do you want me to do? He had 3 men around him.
Ahmed Hodzic likes to get forward, plays it to Coyle and across the box. And arriving on this right side is Ollie McBurney. Just shunted out side-footed by Jacob Greaves before he can get to it. They're putting together some great effective passing moves. Yeah. Sheffield United, and it's all that Hull City can do to just sort of contain and fill the spaces at the back line at the moment.
Spot on. I think the ball from Max Lowe there is perfect. You know, again, you've got to know your white players. That relationship has to be evident, you know, in training every day. The communication before, they should know exactly what you want. They know the quality of both players out in wide areas. Go and attack it, get across your front man.
Tommy Doyle, low corner kick, evades everyone. Norwood doesn't find it yet, now he receives it back, but somehow the play breaks down for Sheffield United. Oscar Estepinian has come forward, he's raced half the length of the pitch. Estepinian, he halts for a second, keeper saves it first time, and as he goes in for the second shot, it's closed out by Wes Foderingham. He's collided with Estepinian. Both are down on the floor in some agony. Well, that was a massive opportunity for the Hull City striker. He'd run half the length of the pitch after Norwood had lost the ball. When it came to his shooting opportunity, it was saved one-on-one by Foderingham, but the ball just dropped at the feet of Foderingham. Estepinian then went for another bite at the cherry, but the two collided.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul Heckingbottom's going to be going absolutely crazy. That's a corner kick that's cut back to the D of the 18-yard box. It was lit through the legs for Oliver Norwood to come on and strike it. It was a poor ball. I'll tell you something now, Max Lowe's coming off. hamstring injury. Max Lowe gives the ball to Oliver Norwood. They're the only two defensive players. There's 3 Hull players that go and press, win the ball. Ostepinian gets the ball in his own half, so he can't be offside anyway, even though he's the closest to the Sheffield United goal. He's running, Max Lowe's chasing him all the way. He pulls up at the 18-yard box, hamstring goes, so Ostepinian can actually take another touch, decide what he wants to do. It's a fantastic strike on goal. I think he should do better. Foderingham, fantastic save, comes to the right hand side. He comes in to get the second pop at it, and again Foderingham's up, the reaction of the goalkeeper. But talk to me, that was a shambles. That was from a corner kick in Sheffield United. But Oliver Norwood should be coming on and getting the shot away 22 yards out from goal.
Well, you've been singing the praises of him for 25 minutes, but that was a moment he'll probably want to forget.
Well, it was a bad ball. It went to Max Lowe, so it's like Oliver Norwood wasn't in position to actually get it. But they shouldn't be 2 last players defensively for Sheffield United there.
Hull City, though, will feel that is a massive moment wasted. And Estepinian, in the form he's been in this championship season with 7 goals, must have fancied his dog. And it was interesting to watch how he'd run the length of the pitch, but then almost jutted. You know, he stuttered his shooting chance, didn't he? He was waiting to see which way the keeper was going.
I think he thought that the challenge was going to come in from Max Lowe until Max Lowe's hamstring just went. So he got to like a metre from him, and he was waiting for it to kind of shield him off, but then he's pulled up, and he's thought, whoa, but he still struck it well. He still asked the question of Foderingham, and he still got to the bit, but that has to be in the back of the net, and that's talk about the opportunities. But you look at all Ostepinian's goals, you know, they're all in the 6-yard box, really. You know, he's a fox in the box, you know, the service is coming in, so he's just ran 50 odd yards, and then he's trying to get a shot away at the end of it. So,
but all the time we've been talking, they've been trying to resolve the injuries down there. Thankfully Foderingham is back up and talking coherently to his defence, but as Chris has just mentioned there will be a change, and it's Chris Basham who is being introduced for Sheffield United. So Basham, a key player last season with 28 championship appearances, 34 years old, but still does a very effective job for this team. And he is being brought on to replace Max Lowe. Probably doesn't have quite the pace of Lowe, but
yeah, he still has
the experience.
He still gets forward. He still puts some fantastic deliveries in. You know, I'm sitting thinking, does he just jump into does he go to the right hand of the 3 and Norrington Davis? Does he?
Possibly. Let's have a look at how Sheffield United reshape once they've dealt with this Hull City corner, which Ozan Tufan will take from the left-hand side. So Wes Foderingham is okay now. He's got 2 orange and black shirts in his box to look at initially. Now all of a sudden the corner's taken short. It's blocked out by United. And then that's poor quality from Hull City, who put the ball backwards before Louis Coyle tries to volley it upfield, and then it goes out of play. There's just no pickings for any of the Hull City players to feed off there. As Brighton had another goal. Brighton 4, Leicester City 2. The pressure intensifies on Brendan Rodgers. Well, you can probably see the headlines tomorrow, can't you? But Brighton 4, Leicester 2. And that is a sensational season so far for Brighton. We're in 4th place in the Premier League.
Yeah, so Basham's just moved on to the right of the 3, and Norrington Davis is now playing out as kind of the left wing back now.
So that's the rejuggle. As Ozan Tufan shows his skill and moves the ball with some trickery away from the Sheffield United players around him. A little bit poor there from Alfie Jones. As the ball's given away, Sander Berg first to it, and now Baldock coming infield. He has the attention of Callum Elder to deal with. Sheffield United, though, retain possession. Norrington Davis with a curled ball in from the left wing, headed away by Figueiredo. Then the ball comes through to Ollie McBurney, who knew 100% at that moment that he was offside.
And that's where I think, you know, he's definitely still getting up to speed, McBurney, but just be switched on. Just that couple of steps, get yourself on, and then, you know what, with the quality that he's got, the form that he's in, he just rolls that. He just opens up with his first touch there, but he knew straight away. And it's just, sometimes you can get a little bit lazy, a little bit switched off. But and again, with this intensity, both teams are using the ball well. You have to be switched on there, Stephen.
Really enjoyable to watch. We passed the half-hour mark on TalkSport 2. myself, Steve Hothersall and Chris Wellamo, and it's 1-0 to Sheffield United here at Hull City. A result that, if it were to stand by the end, would place them back on top of the Championship table, but there's a long way to go. It's been a decent start at Hull under new management. There's been an influx of different talent, particularly in this transfer window, but things have looked good. The locals have certainly bought back into the whole journey, if you like, and there's optimism and positivity of a top 10 finish maybe this season. And under the manager Shota Arveladze, the former Rangers striker who came in January, they've got a man who they believe in. He's managed in Turkey, Israel, Uzbekistan, and now he's here by the side of the Humber. But can he produce something from his team? As Patrick Berger, Sander Berger, I've got the burgers on my head. Berger, just outside the box. It's taken over by Baldock. Sheffield United looking to cross it from the left-hand side. Tommy Doyle into the box to Sander Berger. Berger out wide once more as they're trying to find the direct ball that will pierce the Hull City defence and give them an opportunity for a second. They have to play it backwards. It came to the feet of I can't quite see who that was, but it's gone out of play for Hull City for a throw-in on their right-hand side.
Yeah, again, just overplaying, John Egan, Norrington Davies, and then, Basham had to come and clear the danger up there, but it has to be better. There has to be end product as well. There was opportunity to put the ball in the box. Like you say, you've got Ndiaye and McBurney in the box. Sander Berger came and joined up, but as soon as he gave it back to Egan, he was in the box as well.
Well, they're trying to create more opportunities as this long shot comes in, but it flies white on the right-hand side for Ahmed Hodzic. You mentioned Ndiaye there. He's not really been at the focal point, at the centre of this game, as he's had a terrific time when he's played this season for Sheffield United.
No, he has, and I think he's just been a little bit off it. I think some good quality coming in from both flanks, and if he's on his front foot, he could probably have a couple of goals. He has had a couple of touches. The relationship's very evident between McBurney and Ndiaye there, but like you say, I think it's more so without the ball how well they're working, but they will go into the match. He is always a threat. He's always working hard. He's always asking that question in behind.
What a brilliant weekend it's been on Game Day Live yesterday. We'll get through the headlines in a second as that ball forward for Ndiaye, chased it into the back of Figueiredo, who deals with it properly, knocks it down to his right-hand side to Alfie Jones, and then Jones to Louis Coyle. And Hull City will effectively clear to Ozan Tufan, but his touch is poor. He's blaming it on a shot in the back, but he's put it out of play. Yeah, on Game Day Live yesterday, of course, plenty of action. Bristol City, 2 goals from Nahki Wells, sent them third, beating Blackburn. Watford with a draw against Rotherham. We had Wigan, a big win at Luton. Struck late did Asgard for them, and Norwich made it 5 consecutive wins with a 3-0 victory over Coventry. It's ever changing in an intense division, which always provides the entertainment and is always covered exclusively on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. 35 minutes played. Sheffield United probing once again down the right-hand side, and they've got themselves a throw-in 10-15 yards from the corner flag.
Yeah, I think Regan Slater again 1-on-1 with Sander Berger there, and he's just taking it by him comfortably. He needs a little bit more help. They have to communicate, try and double up when he's in those wide areas, stop the cross from coming in.
Basham trying to cross when he's closed down. He's in for the fight, but he goes in a bit too heavy on Callum Elder, and the linesman right on top of that bit of action awards things the way of Hull City. And you could just hear maybe the atmosphere's quietened a bit, because Hull City have found life a bit tricky in the opening 30 minutes. And of course, the consequence of Sheffield United having so much of the ball is that the Hull City striker, the starman Oscar Estepinian, has had to drop deep an awful lot of the time. He has had that one big opportunity.
Yeah, but that's like you say, he has a job to do. I think defensively he's got to put pressure on Sheffield United defenders when they're coming out with the ball. But that's when you come to a place like this and you know that the fans are a massive part. You have to quieten them down. You have to say, look, if we can impose our game on Hull, then you'll hear the groans, you'll hear the moans, and that'll filter down, and then it tests the character of the players as well. So Sheffield United have done their job. I just felt I expected a little bit more tempo-wise from Hull, energy. They allowed Sheffield United to impose their game very early on.
Callum Elder's long throw into the Sheffield United box. Hull City can't find a man for that ball to drop to. It's come back to Elder. He's chipped it in far post. Meeting it on the volley is Coyle, and now climbing high and collecting it with both hands. Wes Foderingham in the Sheffield United goal.
Well, again, I thought it wasn't a bad ball from Callum Elder there. It was a looping one, but then when you got Louis Coyle coming in at the back end, he's put it back across goal. I think, just have a pop at goal there. It takes a little nick off a leg, creates a different angle for Foderingham. Ask the question. He did everything right, as in putting it back into the danger area, but when he has the time like that, and the quality that he has on his right foot as well, get the shot away.
Paul Heckingbottom out there on the touchline at the moment, as is Avaladze. The two managers very much involved in the action. Sung the praises of Shota Avaladze before, but Paul Heckingbottom, what he's done for Sheffield United has been huge since he took over. He's brought a confidence and a belief into the side, as his side have a free kick now, halfway in the Hull half, and it's with Tommy Doyle. Furthest forward Ollie McBurney and Sander Berger as well. They'll surely not got caught by the offside trap. Free kick swung into the very far side. Ahmed Hodzic heads it out of touch behind the Hull City goal. He didn't quite make the most of that situation.
Yeah, again, I think that's just got to come back into the danger area there. There is good pace on the cross itself, but you are from a very, very tight angle, so there's a lot of white shirts in that 6-yard box centrally, so that's where you should put it.
Let's not forget, as much as we've sung the praises of Sheffield United, they've been fearsome at home, but away from home they still haven't got a win on the board, so today could be something of a breakthrough for them if they did get the 3 points. Their results so far, they've had wins against Millwall, Sunderland, Blackburn and Reading at home, away, lost on day one against Watford, drawn at Borough, drawn at Luton. So this would be significant if they could see it through. Still plenty of time left though. 38 minutes played, 1-0 to Sheffield United on TalkSport 2. Hull City 0, Sheffield United 1. As Hull City sweep the ball out to the left-hand side of Callum Elder. Beaten in the jump by Baldock, and Elder takes the throw quickly in towards Estepinian, working hard to back into the defender and keep hold of the ball. It's been pushed wide but still has possession for Hull. They're looking for an option to cross it in. Had to go backwards and all the way over the halfway line and into the feet of Figueiredo. Figueiredo, Portuguese man, very angry that there's no one there offering a supply line, no one he can feed it through. Didn't really want to go backwards. Instead now it's chipped long into the right hand side for Louis Coyle, but all he could do is try and keep it in play. He's headed it to keep the ball in touch, but it's gone straight to the Sheffield United keeper.
Well, it's a great ball, it's a great switch of play out to Louis Coyle there. So when that ball goes, he has to have runners that are gambling, and behind he did everything that he could do. He kept it in, he flicked it down the right wing channel. So again, it's just anticipate that. There was no one near him. So again, he done all he could do in that situation.
So we've had changes already in the first half for both teams. Tete replaced by Longman. Tete going off with what looked like a serious injury, but of course Hull City could do without. And Max Lowe picking up a hamstring injury by the look of it, replaced by Chris Basham for Sheffield United. Only one goal in it as the Tigers play it through the middle of the park, and Regan Slater down the right hand side now for Louis Coyle. Coyle challenged by Norrington Davis. Now the sliding tackle from Ahmed Hodzic before Norrington Davis clears up the left line long, trying to find Undai. Referee blows his whistle and says it's Sheffield United's ball, way back down the line. In fact, even Norrington Davis is asking where it's from in their own half. So Norrington Davis with the throw. Sheffield United in all white, the Tigers in the orange and black stripes. And it's been an intense and fiercely fought Yorkshire derby so far here on TalkSport 2. As the ball goes up over the halfway line, I briefed you before on the scoreline in the Premier League. That one's remained unchanged, 4-2 to Brighton against Leicester. Still being played there at the Amex, but Brighton 4, Leicester 2. Manchester United Arsenal kicks off at 4:30. We'll have it covered completely. Sam Matter face Mickey Gray at Old Trafford for you this afternoon. Of course, in the Championship, Huddersfield against Blackpool taking place now, and Blackpool currently leading by a 1-0 at Huddersfield. Ball comes backwards and Egan, and then across by Sheffield United to Ahmed Hodzic, who runs with the ball with some ease and freedom down the left-hand side. He's not pressurised. Plays the 1-2 with Tommy Doyle. Doyle feeds the ball infield. Drops to the feet of Oliver Norwood. Spies long Bulldogs run. The ball drops over the top of him and Greaves as well, and is picked up in the whole goal by Matt Ingram. A little bit of frustration from the home crowd there. They wanted something early done with that ball. Didn't happen. We're only a couple of minutes away from the break. Let's get a thought from Chris Wellamo about the performance of the two sides.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Osan Tufan there, having a proper go at Ingram there, but not to Ingram, to Avalanche, which I don't like to see. You know, it's like one of them. It's like, yeah, it was on to give it, but you've got to make sure that you're in that space and asking for it. I think Sheffield United definitely been the more dominant. I think with and without it, they're doing their jobs better. Putting pressure on Hull, forcing the error. But I just need more from the forward players from Hull, even if it's just presenting yourself, coming, giving an option. Because at the minute, they're right across the defensive line of Hull. Every time they're in possession of the ball, I'm not seeing enough movement from the attacking 4, the attacking 5, just to be an outlet. And if there's nothing on, Stephen, then just that quality ball up that can be either one, or then you go pick up second balls in the right area and asking the question. But they've just not done enough for me here at home, and they've been excellent at home, Hull City.
I'm seeing quite a few of the Hull City side losing their heads over the lack of the options that are available. Alfie Jones just did exactly the same thing there. We saw it before with a couple of other players. In part down to Sheffield United's organisation and the way they're making it so hard for Hull to play, but as Chris mentioned there, players have got to do their jobs. As coming infield is Louis Coyle to win the header. Shoulder to shoulder he went at the time, but the referee's now blown his whistle for a Sheffield United free kick.
You're saying that I guess the offensive players have to do their job, but the quality that I've seen in the last probably 5-10 minutes from back to front from Hull has been terrible. All fight balls, and you're talking about Basham, Egan. You know, these are players that can. That's what they do. They love that aerial duel. So with quality into the body of Estepinian, or into the body of Ryan Longman. You know, it's just it has to be better from back to front for Hull City.
Sheffield United's goal scorer Ollie McBurney watches as the ball passes him by, and Sheffield United blast it forward, and 6 minutes of added on time comes upon the board. Of course, we had a couple of what looked like intense injuries or serious injuries that the physio teams had to deal with. So that would account for that 6 additional minutes to play here in the first half at the MKM Stadium, live on TalkSport 2. Sheffield United doing the job they came here to do.
They're completely in control, aren't they? I think switched on, organised. You know what you're going to get from a Sheffield United side, and they have the quality that goals are coming from all over at the minute as well. So you need to do. But
Avalanche will be not annoyed, but a little bit frustrated by the one massive chance that Hull City had, which they couldn't, make pay.
Yeah, well, he's pulled 2 fantastic saves out of Fotheringham. You know, it's with the form that he's in, 7 in 7 championship games, it's a great return. But it's not the goals that he's been scoring, it's the service that's been coming in. I've not seen too many coming in, albeit it has come in there from Jacob Greaves, but the bodies weren't in the box.
Cross from wide left, no one there to feed off it. Easy catch for Foderingham.
You're going to have chances in the match. It'll be disappointed that's been the only chance. I think they've not really asked too many questions of Foderingham.
It's Tommy Doyle. I like him. Hard-working midfielder for Sheffield United. Helps them get the ball to the final third. Hull City break down that movement, and at the end of this first half they're trying to get a foothold back in the game. Crossfield ball out to Ozan Tufan. He has to shield it backwards to Callum Elder. Elder behind the halfway line, and Jacob Greaves plays a 1-2 with Tufan, but immediately Basham's in the back of Tufan, and Basham's forced Tufan back about 20 yards, who then has no option but to play it back to his keeper.
It's just experience, Basham, he is very mobile, reads the game very well, but it's that in-game intelligence as well, just do your job. You don't have to go through him, you don't have to tackle, you just have to put that pressure on him.
Tufan, lofted ball in towards the Sheffield United box, looking for Estepinian. Cleared away by the white shirts of Sheffield United. Picked up on the far right by Ryan Woods. And it's gone out for a Hull City throw. Some last minute frantic talking by the Hull City coaching staff. Shota Afolazi hoping that there might be some sort of equaliser manufactured before the half-time whistle. Not that they would probably deserve it, but Hull City have the ball at the moment. Play is currently halted as the referee deals with a minor squabble involving Callum Elder and George Baldock. A throw for Hull City now to be taken. Halfway in the Sheffield United half, right-hand side. Throw down that right line. Back to Coyle. Well, what can you say about that? Not much.
He needs to get up to speed very, very quickly. Ryan Longman, he's come on, and I know what he's trying to do there, but he just needs to get the ball under control. He's tried to put it back just on the volley to Coyle there, and it's poor. It went out of play just from a throw-in when he can actually just get at his man. Get the ball under control first.
And here's Sheffield United on the left wing. The ball cut from the left to the right. The chase is on, and Baldock was hoping to get there, but he didn't in time. So Callum Elder takes the throw in. That throw is back to Jacob Greaves. Greaves left-footed. It's a long 30-yard pass out to the right wing for Louis Coyle. But each and every time the play tends to break down because there's no options from that point. Now Estepinian. Here he is, going through the centre, chips it in. Big moment here, but Tufan chipped it over the top of Foderingham and over the top of the Sheffield United bar as well. Well, Oscar Estepinian can't believe it. He put the ball in, and Tufan, with the quality that he's got, should probably have finished that off. Yeah,
he's went for the spectacular one over. I think he can just put that and pick get his foot over it, hit it into the ground and pick his spot. Estepinian there, fantastic ball. Took a little bit of a deflection that took a little bit out of it for Ozan Tufan, but 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. He's just shaking his head at the manager Advaladze at the minute, because he had both hands on his head. That has to be in the back of the net. Massive opportunity, isn't it?
Style over substance is what Tufan was thinking at that point in time. Doesn't always get results. It remains Hull City 0, Sheffield United 1.
And even going over, he's went with the outside of the right foot. He never even went with the instep and just said, look, feel it over and cushion it in.
TalkSport 2. We're heading towards the break here at the MKM Stadium. Plenty of improvement needed, I'm sure, from the Hull City side. That will be the message from Shota Afolazi. For Sheffield United, well, they've been pretty decent, but they have been exposed on a couple of occasions, and Paul Heckingbottom will be keen to tell his players that.
Well, that's it. That's the message, isn't it? A game that they're completely in control of. 2, I'd say, errors, unforced errors really as well, has allowed Hull to get in behind them on 2 occasions and massive opportunities. But that's the team talk for Avaladze as well, when he goes in there and says, look, I've not seen enough of the quality that I want, the intensity that I want here at the MKM Stadium. But if you up that, you can cause problems to this Sheffield United team, because, like you say, they've Fotheringham on occasion, 2 fantastic saves, and there he came out and made himself big, but that should be in the back of the net for Tufan.
It's got to be, hasn't it? He's missed an opportunity to make it 1-1 by the break. We're in that 6 minutes of added on time. Pace has been slightly slowed down, but the referee now decides to call time. But what has been a fascinating first half at the MKM Stadium. Sheffield United have been the more dominant in terms of quality. The goal came from Ollie McBurney, a 3rd goal in 3 games for him after that long drought he suffered. They've played the more passing, more effective game. They've pressed really well, but Hull City have had 2 chances to reflect on that they haven't taken. Let's get the second half underway at the MKM Stadium on TalkSport 2. Hull City 0, Sheffield United 1. We've probably got 30 seconds before we kick off, so oh no, here we go. We're underway. Hull City in the tiger stripes, the black and orange stripes and the black shorts and black socks, against Sheffield United in all white. Sheffield United kicking from right to left in this second half, and no changes. Both teams with enforced changes from the first half. Benjamin Tete went off injured, replaced by Ryan Longman, who really hasn't got up to the speed of the game as yet, and Max Lowe with a hamstring injury, replaced by Chris Basham. So enforced changes for the 2 managers, but a different Hull City expected by Chris Iwelumo alongside me. And you'll hear the whole of this game exclusively live on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL and the Championship, as the Tigers have it at the back line, and under some pressure at the moment is Figueiredo. Oh, he was robbed in dangerous fashion. He was dwelling on the ball on the left-hand side of his penalty area, and Dye didn't see any issue with it. He just got in and muscled the ball off him, and then the referee's blown the whistle.
I don't know what the referee's seen there. You know, I think Ndye's done ever so well, put pressure on him, forced the error, twisted them inside out, got away, and I thought the free kick was going to be the other way, but then I think the red card's possibly coming out there because he's going in 1-on-1 with Matt Ingram there. Ndye, I don't understand why the referees, with what he's let go, what he's let pass in the first half, how can he pull that one back?
Give you the teams in just a moment, but Hull City trying to break forward. The move collapses. Norwood nonchalantly plays the ball out to Berger on the right hand side. Sheffield United pressing forward. It's come back into the feet of Tommy Doyle, and then Sheffield United lose it very much up on the high line, and it's hit off Sander Berger for a Hull City throw on the left hand side.
Well, I think Tommy Doyle there, he's trying to find a little reverse pass to Ndye, central, you know, just outside the D. I think we've already seen him take a shot on from distance. I think again, just move the ball right or left and let one go from there. You can see he's not short of confidence, you know, the way that he's moving and getting on the ball.
Tufan rolling the ball over the halfway line, but it's a tight gap for him to try and get the ball to Estepinian, and Sheffield United return it to their keeper Fotheringham. Long kick out from him over the halfway line, ends up in the middle of the park. Now Hull City have it on the right hand side. It's Alfie Jones down that right wing. The chase is on for Louis Coyle, and the keeper Fotheringham's come out, and that was a brave decision from him. He had to come a yard out of the left side of his penalty area, and we know Louis Coyle, he's someone who won't give up himself.
What is Fotheringham doing there? Should never have came. It was Louis Coyle that actually got all contact on that ball, just trying to keep it alive. But Fotheringham's got to let his defender, I think it was Norrington Davies there, that was chasing him all the way. Let him do his job. You know, he's right out in the right channel. He's nowhere near the goal. You coming out is only gonna cause problems for yourself.
Louis Coyle, who has been one of the better Hull City players today, as the flag goes up though, and that cross will come to nothing. The ball's going to be kicked back towards Sheffield United at their left back position, and they'll be able to have a throw-in down there with Norrington Davis. Norrington Davis picking that ball up. The home fans trying to G their side into gear. Have you seen any early signs that Hull City have responded to some sort of tactical talking to at the break?
Yeah, you know what, they have. There's an energy that is expected, but they have to give the fans something to shout about. and that's something like they want to see football, they want to be entertained, and that starts by when you cross that white line, get on the ball. But I just think Sheffield United are using the ball well defensively. They're not throwing players forward. I think they're just managing the game very well, keeping possession when they have to. These little moves like Baldock and Berger linking up ever so well the right hand side, but they want it more.
Baldock's just escaped two players with a little bit of tenacity. Plays the ball back to Ahmed Hodzic on the halfway line, comes out wide to Doyle tried to feed it in low to Undai with a pass out to the left wing. Norrington Davis curls it in, and that move was great, to be honest, from Sheffield United. Every one of those passes was done correctly, with the end purpose in mind of getting a good cross into the box. It came, but it actually came behind Ollie McBurney at that point.
Yeah, it was behind Ollie McBurney, but it was Baldock that's coming in at the back post area from the Norrington Davies cross. But Ndiaye keeping the ball alive, getting away from his man, coming back to about 25 yards in the central area, but then putting it out wide. They're playing with a purpose. They're on the front foot. They've got players gambling all the time and in good possession of the ball. They're coming down both sides. And that's what I'm expecting. That's what I expected to see from Hull today. That energy, that link up. Can Tufan and Estepinian keep possession of the ball, allow Hull to get up the pitch, but then use those wide areas because they've got energy in both flanks.
Chris Basham just heading the ball out of play. So Wes Fodringham in goal for Sheffield United. Going to switch around at the back with the substitution of Max Lowe and Chris Basham being brought on. So Basham, Egan and Anil Ahmed Hodzic, George Baldock and Norrington Davis occupying those wing-back roles. Oliver Norwood, Tommy Doyle in the centre, and then Sander Berger behind Ollie McBurney and Iliman Undai. Here's Hull City coming forward down the left-hand side. Well, the cross wasn't the worst, but there wasn't one Hull City body within 5-10 yards of that ball as it was crossed in from the left-hand side. And so it's gone out of play at the Sheffield United left-back position, and Norrington Davis will pick it up for a throw into the visitors today, Sheffield United.
Well, as soon as Ryan Longman's in that wide position, the ball coming in.
Get in the box.
Have to break your neck to get in there. Estepinian was at the edge of the box, but again, gamble, get across your man. You should be in line with where Ryan Longman is anyway. He was only 4 or 5 yards from the goal line.
Well, the defence for Hull City is over 10 players being injured currently, 10 first team players. That will certainly make a difference once they're all back, or the new signings have bedded in as well. On the bench today, Dimitrios Pelkas, who's a playmaker. Here's Undai trying to get behind Figueiredo. He's one-on-one with him. Will he beat him? He goes on to his right foot. It's still Undai! Oh, and the shot's low and right into the knees of Matt Ingram in the Hull City goal. Well, he surely should have at least tested the keeper to greater effect there, or found the net. That was a big opportunity for Sheffield United.
Massive opportunity. He made it all himself as well, and got his man inside the box, driving at him. Great little work, taking it to the right, opened up the complete goal and hits it right at Matt Ingram there. He's got to find the bottom right hand corner, or even do what the striking partner done and cut back and go for the near post. But fantastic skill to get himself into the position to take it on. Just never executed that shot the way that we all know that he can.
Hull City with the ball and into Tufan's feet. Tries to chip it forward for the man at heart of the attack, Estepinian. Didn't get to him. And Sheffield United themselves bring it forward down the right line with Undai. I mentioned that name on the bench, Dimitrios Pelkas. He's a Greek international who came from Fenerbahce. A deal confirmed on deadline day for Hull City. Playmaker, he's come on a season-long loan. He did take part in training on Thursday, but obviously not deemed fit enough to start this one. 4 goals in 23 Superliga outings for him last season, so a little bit of quality there, but one of 16 new faces at Hull City. As that ball forward by Sheffield United towards the body of Undai, pierced through him and ends up being brought under control by Hull City. Halfway line, Figueiredo now into the centre of the park, and Regan Slater out wide to the left, and then turned back by Jacob Greaves to his keeper Matt Ingram. Ingram feeds it to Alfie Jones with the headband on, out wide on the right-hand side.
They're just so hard to break down, Sheffield United. They're so organised. You know, it's when you're looking at Elder and Louis Coyle for Hull, I need more. You know, when they're 1v1 with their opposing number, they've got to get at them. They've got to be direct. They've got to take them on. If they can get past or in behind the likes of a Baldock or a Norrington Davis, then they're asking questions. They're committing players. They're pulling players out of position. But I'm not seeing enough. It's all in front of Sheffield United. They're happy. They've got the goal. They're up by a goal. So they're just saying, play in front of us all you want. It's about getting in behind those players, and I'm not seeing enough movement from them. Even if it's like Louis Coyle with the energy he's got, sure, but then they know the quality's going in behind. Can they hit their striker with quality that's putting him in a wide area? Then it's asking questions. I've not seen any of that at the minute. It's very comfortable for Norrington Davis and Baldock.
I'm not sure the reaction has been big enough from Hull City at this break.
Yeah.
55 minutes played now on TalkSport 2. Home of the Championship, home of the EFL. And today, home of Hull City against Sheffield United, where the Blades are leading by a goal to nil. Paul Heckingbottom's side heading to top spot once more after Norwich deprived them of it yesterday, and then Reading pushed them into third today. What a great scrap. What a great story once again. The Championship is already evolving at such an early stage. It's a beautiful league to watch, and one that never ceases to amaze. So many storylines yesterday, including, of course, and I'll mention to you when this ball goes out of play. Well, we'll hang on a second. Estepinian, pass isn't good enough. Doyle got a foot in. Berger there. Undai, back to Berger once more over the halfway line. This could be effective for Sheffield United, but that's a decent tackle that comes in by Alfie Jones and presses the ball clear. Another chance for Sheffield United to come down the left side now. Outside of the boot from Doyle. That's a great bit of skill. And that's a high boot from Ahmed Hodzic, which has gone into the face of Figueiredo, who's rolling around on the floor now.
There's no intention of that at all. Ahmed Hodzic is just trying to backheel it, you know, like a scorpion kick into the danger area. Great little ball from Tommy Doyle there. But
well,
again,
as he remains on the floor, and the crowd bay for the referee to react in some sort of way with a harsh card.
Is it a yellow card anyway? Because it's got him in the face, hasn't it?
For me, Chris, it's not a card. I think it's accidental.
I don't think it's a card. But it was, I'm trying to think, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, where he's turned and the card comes out. He doesn't know that he's in. He's watching the ball all the way. It's a high boot to the face last season.
Oh, yep.
The card comes out, and I'm sitting thinking, there's no intention there whatsoever.
Well, the referee is being press ganged, if you like, down at that end of the stadium. But Ahmed Hodzic surely is only going to get a yellow at worst here.
I just think it's because it's dangerous, isn't it? Because your foot's up high, it's made contact. Even though he's just thinking about keeping the ball alive, he's tried to let the scorpion kick, keep it in play, and the defenders, I guess he's not put his head down there because it wasn't
done with aggression.
Was it head height? There was no aggression in it, was it or not?
While we've got this stoppage in play and Figueiredo is down, the story I wanted to mention to you was Preston North End's run. So a team that under Ryan Lowe racked up 7 clean sheets before yesterday, but only actually scored 2 goals during those 7 games, and then yesterday, of course, lost 1-0. So I've still got only 2 goals in 8 games, but I've had 7 clean sheets out of 8 games. Have you ever heard anything like this before?
So bizarre, you know. I think they broke the record. Ryan Lowe will be so disappointed that 7 clean sheets and only 2 goals. You know, with some of the players he's got there. You know, they were sitting in 10th before the ball was kicked yesterday, and it's a little bit disappointing when you've had a complete defensive shutout unheard of before. But again, this is football for you, isn't it?
Well, this is the Championship, and this is why it is intriguing. Now, the player is still down, Figueiredo. I mean, I didn't want to in any way doubt the severity of the injury, but he spent a couple of minutes down on the floor now with the doctor and physio overseeing him. Ahmed Hodzic has received the yellow card for that incident. Let me just round up what's going on elsewhere. And of course in the Premier League 4:30 we have Manchester United Arsenal. Brighton are beaten Leicester by 5 goals to 2. 5 goals to 2 is the full-time scoreline there. While in the Championship, Huddersfield 0, Blackpool 1. That's in the 60th minute, and Reading are beaten Stoke by 2 goals to 1. So that's how the stories are unfolding. What can you see, Chris?
There's been something thrown, isn't it? We've got the Reds all over.
You're referring to a flare that has been thrown onto the seats on the far side of the ground, and the stewards and police are doing their best to move it away. The Sheffield United fans all in that corner.
It's crazy. Listen to this now, because we see what's going on. You know, Sheffield United's trying to get a little bit of trouble over there, and this is sometimes what you need as a player, just the fans to kind of give you that little impetus.
Do you respond to that as a player?
Not me personally, but I know players that it can get the best out of them, but also know players that it can be too much and they buckle under that pressure.
Tobias Figueiredo's okay. He's back out, and we're back underway once more. So that's at least 3/4 minutes of added on time at the end of the game. But thankfully, he's all right. The atmosphere has certainly lifted or raised a decibel or two, which is what Hull City would require. But Sheffield United straight back onto the ball. Ahmed Hodzic dribbling it to the halfway line, gives to Doyle. Doyle sees it nicked off his foot by Estepinian. And so a throw in for the Blades on this near side of the field. Norrington Davis picks it up to take. The United 33. Ricochets nearly to Ollie McBurney, then Ndiaye. But Ndiaye beaten to the ball by Louis Coyle. The two of them fly on the ground together and clatter into the hoardings.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant from Ndiaye there. Put Louis Coyle under so much pressure. Took a slow one, you know. Both of them went down straight away. He's up. Doesn't even help him up either as well. Just runs by him. I think it's just one of them. He's just always in the goal without the ball as well. Works ever so hard. But some of the touches that I see him, his first touch, he's got an idea, an awareness of what's around him, the players, and his first touch is spot on in Ndiaye.
So we're back once more. There's a red haze across half the pitch as that flare has been dealt with, the remnants of it, the stench of it around the MKM Stadium. Hull City 0, Sheffield United 1. I'm Steve Hothersall, alongside me Chris Iwelumo, former Wolves and Scotland man, enjoying how this action's unfolding in the Sheffield United free kick.
Well,
Ahmed given against them.
Ahmed Hodzic has to be a little bit careful.
He's on a tightrope there.
Yeah, I think the referee just had to have a little word with him. There was no need for him to come through the back of Oscar Estepinian there. So I just think he's got to be very, very careful. You know, defensively as well. He plays a massive part. Great energy. He gets into attacking areas. He underlaps, he overlaps. But defensively, he's got a job to do.
Regan Slater wins a throw-in on the far left-hand side of the Sheffield United box, and all around the ground there's towels littered for the home team to actually dry the ball clean so they get further distance and a trajectory on it. And this one's low and towards the penalty spot, breaks out to Slater. Regan Slater curls it in towards Estepinian, head away by Ahmed Hodzic, and then further knocked clear by Ndiaye onto the chest of Ollie McBurney, but he can't hold it up. Ball drops to Norwood, and now not cleared by Doyle, but only to the halfway line by Figueiredo. Stoops a header forward, dropped onto Sander Berger, and then Callum Elder manages to drive it forward. Good little period for Hull City this.
Yeah.
Not too many in the game.
Yeah, you know, I think using the ball well. I've got to say in the attacking third,
that's a great ball over the top. Sheffield United under attack, but that shot is just wide of goal, and it was Ryan Longman. Well, he broke clear, the feeder ball to him dropped perfectly. He latched onto it, and he thought of one thing, beating the keeper Wes Foderingham, but his left-footed shot didn't have the quality needed.
He'll be disappointed. I think it's an excellent bit of quality ball in behind as well. I think it was Elder that's just felt it in. Ryan Longman's got in behind his man. Basham it was as well. But he's going in, the ball bounced at a good height. He's on his left now. Yeah, this is his foot. You know, so what I'm expecting him to do this year is go across goal but hit it into the ground. But he's thought, Fotheringham, I'm going to beat him at his near post, I'm going to go high and hit it hard, and he's not hit the target. But that's the question, you've got yourself in a great position. The ball's at a good height, so there's no excuse, it's coming down. But can you get it across goal? Because even if Fotheringham does get a foot on it or a hand in it, it's coming into where Hull players are arriving, and they might have an open goal. So I understand what he's trying to do, beat Fotheringham at his near post, but it's a big ask.
Remains 1-0 to Sheffield United as that ball beats Ndiaye for pace. Iliman Ndiaye sees it run out on this near side. The Senegalese international, still only 22 years old, one of the brightest from the Sheffield United academy, one of those talents who's come through. He's definitely got an eye on the World Cup in Qatar. Of course, it will depend on appearances and form for Sheffield United. Oh, now that was a decent looking ball through by Alfie Jones, hoping that the run of Ryan Longman might just pay off. It was a little bit too fast, but again, those sorts of passes ask questions of Sheffield United, bring Longman into the game.
The little things there, Ryan Wood taking the free kick very quickly. As soon as it comes to Alfie Jones, he had to punch it through. It was very tight space, no room for error there. But like you say, it's I think it was Longman again, just couldn't get on the end of it. So that's what's needed, just an intensity. Throw-ins taken quickly, dead ball situations taken quickly, just creates an intensity. Put Sheffield United on the back foot a little bit as well, but the quality has to be raised just a little bit.
Sheffield United with throw-in on that right-hand side, and just trying to advance a yard or two down that line. Baldock, and then Sander Berger. Berger's pass intercepted by Ryan Woods. Played up to the halfway line, where going to ground on his knees is Ozan Tufan and making something of a meal of that. He was always going to be awarded the free kick. And on TalkSport 2, it's Hull City 0, Sheffield United 1. The goal scorer, Ollie McBurney. That's 3 in 3 for him now. It was a decent enough strike, but the keeper won't want to watch the replay tonight. Beaten in his near post. Here's Estepinian inside the Sheffield United box, but 4 white shirts surround him, doing the job when necessary, and George Baldock smashes that into touch. Yeah, but it was much better from Hull, keeping pressure on there. I think it was Ryan Longman as well chasing, and in fact it wasn't. It was Louis Coyle chasing Norrington Davies all the way there, close to that area, couldn't clear the area. Then it came to Slater, who then kept the ball well, but needs a little bit more quality in attacking third. Long throw into the box, and the Sheffield United defenders have to organise themselves to see off the threat of Wood. It's gone out for a corner on the right hand side. Well, those long throws propelled after the ball is wiped clean and really causing a problem.
It did cause a problem there, and I think Ryan Longman's just waiting for the ball to come down to take it on the volley, probably right on the 6-yard line. Norrington Davis again just seen the danger, came, put his head where it hurts, and cleared that.
Callum Elder with the corner for Hull City from the right, curling in towards West Fodringham's goal, but headed out by Ollie McBurney. It'll be another corner for Callum Elder to take. Best period of the game for Hull City by far this. They've had 4 or 5 minutes where they've raised the levels a notch, started to ask some questions. Elder once more, left-footed in, swinger, not met by anyone in a Hull shirt, and then wasted by Louis Coyle as the ball came out to him 22 yards out, and he just struck one on the half volley. And really, he should know better than that. Yep. Double substitution coming now for Hull City. And so the changes we're going to see are an introduction for Jean-Michel Seri, who's been injured of late, and also Tyler Smith as well. And the two to be replaced, Ryan Woods, the first to leave the field, and the second is Callum Elder. So, the roll of the dice.
Yeah, it is. You have to. It's like you say, what is there? They're probably going to be 30 minutes still to play. We added time. So yeah, he's making players. They've got to be up to speed because at this minute of time that they are kind of growing into the match. The intensity is definitely lifted in the whole point of view. So yeah.
Goal scorer of the game, Ollie McBurney, is replaced And Rhian Brewster, of course, the big buy, the record signing from Liverpool, is to take his place on the field. So for Ollie McBurney, surely he'll be boosted and full of confidence after scoring yet again. I mean, when you're on that sort of run as a striker, you can't get enough.
No, you can't. You want the games to come thick and fast. You know, training, you hit one of them, you'll recover, he'll look after himself with the periods that he's had. So, no, yeah, it's massive. It'll be massive for him to get another goal, of course.
And Brewster drops himself into the hole right side of Iliman and Dye. And we're ready to restart with Foderingham taking a goal kick. Plants it out towards Rhian Brewster. And won by Hull City. And in the centre of the park, some immediate work done by Jean-Michel Seri, who was missing for the game against Queen's Park Rangers with injury. Very much involved now. Very noticeable as well down there. He's a stocky figure, but that sort of golden hair he's had dyed really makes him stand out. There's a ball from Estepinian to the right wing. And Louis Coyle. Will these changes make a difference for Hull City? They're still only trailed by a goal as Louis Coyle hits that against Norrington Davis and it goes out for a corner.
Well, listen to that. That's what I'm saying. A little bit of quality. Louis Coyle, as I say, energy down that right-hand side. He's up against a fantastic defender in Norrington Davies. You know, again, put his head with the Hearts, putting that one out for a corner. But at the minute, it's all Hull.
Jean-Michel Seri, corner from the right. Looking near side to Tufan. Comes back out to Seri once more, but a diving challenge from George Bulldog, who would love that sort of situation. And the ball's deflected down the line. And further cleared away by Bulldog to the halfway line. Being knocked backwards by Louis Coyle to his goalkeeper, Matt Ingram. Home crowd, I should say, demanding more attacking, more aggression from the Tigers.
Yeah, I think Louis Coyle had to go to Figueiredo there. You know, he presented himself better.
Well, there's a ball played through by Regan Slater. Ends up at the feet of Ozan Tufan. Now left side of the box, it's a Hull City shot coming in, which deflects onto the head of Bulldog and is moved away. And Rhian Brewster tries to chase it down the left line, went to the floor, and the referee said that was no free kick.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in it. Very surprised that the likes of Heckingbottom and Stuart McCall going over to the fourth there, especially with them two as players. what they were like. You know, there was nothing in that at all. Rhian Brewster just tried to run him. Alfie Jones there, and like you say, I thought it was good defending in the end, and got in there.
He said the Stuart McCall highlights reel might involve one or two of those.
and the rest, yeah.
Far worse. Throw in for Sheffield United. And it is still on, use that word, knife edge, but it is still in the balance, this game. Sheffield United, I'd say dominant in the first half. Two big chances for Hull, they didn't take them. Second half, slightly more even. It's not as dominant a display by Sheffield United. And here's Norrington Davis down the left-hand side. Can he get around the back of Louis Coyle to get a cross in? No is the answer. Referee, though.
He's got it right. He's got it right. He's won the ball, but he's went through the player first.
Well, he's given a free kick to Sheffield United left side of the Hull City box.
What I will say as well, you know, with Sheffield United, because the lead, that does play a part. You know, that the mindset to protect rather than go and get a second, and it's that takes players out there. You know, captain John Egan say, you know what, let's get forward. There's enough of them, but Bulldog, you know what I mean, it's like there's enough characters in the Sheffield United to say, let's not drop deep, let's not protect what we've got, let's keep that intensity to our play, let's keep pressing high. But you know, it's easier said than done.
Sheffield United free kick, referee forcing back Hull's Regan Slater. Lots of white shirts in that box. A little bit pushing and pulling, and Sander Berger's up there. Rhian Brewster's in as well.
Well, look at Ndai. Ndai has to be in front of Estepinian and then just beat the first man. There's so many bodies to go through.
Norwood's free kick. It's come off the legs of Estepinian and back out towards Norwood once more. Wasted. Comes back to the halfway line. Norrington Davis and hits a diagonal out to the right wing. It's chipped over the top for Sander Berg, but he surely won't get to that. Chris mentioned before, he always looks sort of lazy with the way he runs, doesn't he? It always looks like he didn't try then.
Did you see John Egan's reaction? He's like, look,
are you not going to run?
Sander Berg, if he works his feet, he's got the quality to take that first time and probably get a shot on goal or fire it back across the face of goal, but he just watches it. You know, it's like, come on.
And great footwork, dribbling around Seri, gives it to Sander Berg, great turn of pace, Sander Berg! And surely Sheffield United are back on top of the championship table tonight. Sheer quality from Sander Berg. He just stepped up the pace to get past his man and into the Hull City box, and then unleashed a shot which got a slight deflection but ended up in the top left-hand corner. Berger quality, and it's Hull City 0, Sheffield United 2.
Well, it's an excellent goal, isn't it? You know, I think Kandai, fantastic work, goes out to Sander Berg, and you know what? He makes it look so easy. He's up against two defenders there. Yeah, he moves the ball well. He just needs that half yard. He gets past his man, but the accuracy, I think it took a little bit of a deflection as well, but it was on target anyway, the original shot. Right into the top right-hand corner there. Sorry, top left-hand corner. Matt Ingram's faced up at his near post. This is the quality he's got. He should be doing this game in, game out. How many opportunities in the first half did he? But I'm sitting saying, why has he not put the shot on there? Why is he looking to pass it? He's got no one around him. He's on the 18-yard line. Just either move it right or left. He can use both feet. Defensively, he does his job. We had this discussion before the game was kicked. He has all the attributes to play at the highest level, but we just don't see it. I don't know if he's that laid back that he's just thought, yeah, enough is good enough for me, because he makes it look easy.
Well, the way he propelled himself just a yard or two faster than the defender there, and then got the shot away, looks class.
Yeah, it looks unbelievable, doesn't it? You know, the speed of thought, knows exactly what he's going to do with it before he receives it. The touch is perfect, the second touch is even better, and then obviously the third touch, it's in the top left-hand corner.
Well, Hull had shown some resilience in the second half, but Sander Berger kind of broken Tigers' hearts. So some more changes. Sean McLaughlin on for Hull City. Dimitrios Pelkas, who I told you about before, the loan signing from Fenerbahce, playmaker, he's coming on as well. So the Hull manager throwing all his cards on the table now. Shota Arveladze. It would be a tough ask for Hull to come back from this. Meanwhile, the goal-scoring hero for Sheffield United, Sander Berger, coming over to the technical area and having a little bit of chat and taking on some water as well. But we're just seeing these substitutions take place, and just given what we've seen so far, it would be very hard to get Hull City back into a position where they could win this game. But have they got anything in them to score a goal that gives them the lifeline? Well, what's Ollie McBurney doing down there? Because he seems to be involved in a little bit of an altercation, a verbal altercation on the halfway line. He'd been substituted, remember, some time ago, but something's riled him down there, Chris.
Yes, you know, I know Ollie very well, and he's a fantastic character.
A fireball?
He is right. Yeah, he's got it in the tank. You know what I mean? So I think he was just having a pop at a member of staff, but he's still having a go now. You know, at his own.
Come on, mate, you've been rest. Rest easy. Your manager would want you to be happy at this point.
Here he goes again, look.
He's off.
Something's happened, you know, something's happened over.
Has there? To one of the Sheffield United players, or? I don't know, but Ollie McBurney's very much at the heart of it. He's almost acting as if he's Paul Heckingbottom's assistant. Now, the referee is talking with a steward, so maybe there is something more serious afoot here. Talking with a steward, he's talking with one of the Sheffield United substitutes as well, which seems to be indicating something to him. That's Oliver Arblaster, who's telling him something about an incident that's happened further down the line. I don't know what. We might find out a little bit more after the game. Well, 78 minutes, another stoppage. So I'll be prepared for a little bit of extensive stoppage time once we hit the 90 minutes in this game. The 2-0 to Sheffield United, and now it's all about the game management for them. You mentioned a moment or two ago, you're 1-0 up, you're a little bit cautious about how much do you advance. 2-0's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, as you know, there'll be a little bit more freedom, they can gamble a little bit more, or they can just say, you know what, we don't need to score again, we'll just shut up shop and, you know, it's just keep possession of the ball and use it well. They can really, they're probably looking at 15, 16, maybe even more than that, the stoppages we've had in this second half of added time. So it's going to be an interesting one. But Hull, he's made all his changes. Can they affect it? They're going to go very direct. They're going to leave holes defensively now because they have to take necessary risk.
Referee stops play as Figueiredo pulls back on the shirt of Iliman Ndiaye. Sheffield United free kick on the halfway line. 2 goal scorers for Sheffield United today have been Ollie McBurney and Sander Berge. We've had a goal at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. Martinelli has got the first goal in what is always a fiery and absorbing fixture. Updates on that one on TalkSport at the moment, but it's Arsenal with the lead there, top of the table, and extending their dominance with that goal at the moment. Here's Hull City coming down the right-hand side. Regan's Tyler Smith it was, and now it's with the captain Louis Coyle. Coyle just moving away from Norrington Davis, playing it back down the line. Sean McLaughlin on as a substitute. McLaughlin infield, skipping over it was Jacob Greaves with what looked like no care in the world, but Sander Berge was just hovering off his back. And now it's Greaves again, and he rolls it back into the feet of his keeper Matt Ingram. Well, it's been a great game to watch here at the MKM, and Sheffield United, who started the fixture third in the table, could end the fixture top of the championship table. And will it be a case come May that Sheffield United finally have their prize that they were denied by the heartbreak of the playoffs last season? Early indications would suggest that it's heading in that direction.
Well, I don't know how the referee couldn't give a free kick there. Graham Brewster's just came and he's tried to get the ball, but he's really left one on Sean McLaughlin there. You know, really, he's had a look at the ref. It's one of them like, how have you not seen that?
Graham Brewster plays it back to Norwood. He's at least 25 yards out. He tries a bouncing bomb which goes straight into the chest of the keeper Matt Ingram in the whole goal.
It was always moving, wasn't it? But I've got to say, very impressed. Ingram took that one very comfortably there. There was 3, I think, white shots following that in. Brewster, Ndiaye.
Jean-Michel Seri now for Hull City, who still have ambitions of a goal that might just open doors for them. That ball into Estepinian, who tried the first time flick, but it didn't come off. It went straight into the hands of Fodringham in the Sheffield United goal. Meanwhile, Manchester United fans breathe a sigh of relief. The Martinelli goal ruled out by VAR. How long does it take sometimes for these goals to get ruled out?
Far too long. And still get it wrong in the end as well.
Well, another weekend where more controversy brought up from VAR. Sheffield United ping a ball down the left wing for Ryan Brewster. He's cut it behind Ndiaye, but Sander Berge picks it up far side of the box. It's still with Berge. Berge rolls it back into the penalty area. There's a whole outstretched leg which has diverted it away. It'll come back in, maybe from George Baldock. Instead it's Norwood now. Norwood in towards the box and looking to find Tommy Doyle with his outstretched leg. Couldn't get to it.
Yeah,
injury?
Yeah, Sander Berge pulled up a little bit there. I think he'll have a little look at the manager, possibly come off 2-0. Let's just see how he's moving after this. But he's definitely having a little feel. Well, he opened up there well enough, to be fair, but he was stretching it. Great trickery as well from the big man on the right hand side of the 18-yard box, and I think there needs to be more movement from the pairing of Brewster and Ndiaye, just to get on the end of it, because they know he's gonna fire it across.
Norrington Davis, left side of the whole box to get a good cross in, and that's a header from Ryan Brewster which has gone over the top of the crossbar, applauded by his teammates, but it's not a finish that tests the Hull City keeper. what have we got on the clock there? 84 minutes played, and probably at least 7 or 8 minutes of added on time. I say at least, because we had a long stoppage for injury, and also for some dramatics on the touchline as well. Jean-Michel Seri tries to find a pass out to the left wing, overhits it, and it goes out for a throw-in for Baldock and Sheffield United to take.
Yeah, I think they've weathered the storm, haven't they? You know, there's a danger of that as well when you do make too many substitutions, when you're actually on top and you look like you're going to create something. I understand why Aberlads has made those because he's gambling. They're 2-0 down. But again, that second goal of Sheffield United came against the run of play properly. You know, Hull were having the more favourable moment, so you have to, and it's not really paid off. If anything, Sheffield United have just took even more control of the game now, keeping possession. Not really. When was the last time Hull were in the Sheffield half? You know, everything's coming back. It's not been really great quality.
Nothing effective. Here's Sheffield United again. Sander Berger to the edge of the box. Norrington Davis now 30 yards out, relatively central. Ryan Brewster takes a shot from distance, and it wasn't so far, and it was right-footed and whipped, and it was curling all the time, and Matt Ingram didn't really move, and it only just missed the goal.
Yeah, it wasn't far. It was a fantastic effort, wasn't it? I think Matt Ingram, if it's on target, it's the goal, isn't it? Because he struck it so well, knew exactly what he was doing, bent it so far outside the goal, but it came round, didn't it? Wasn't far away at all.
I've always been surprised how Ryan Brewster's career's never really gone to the next level. As a young Liverpool player, very much touted as the next big thing. Still trying to find his feet, isn't he?
You know, you need a run of games, and I just felt that he never quite got that. You know, I think you know, at Swansea he was playing, he was scoring goals. They spent a lot of money to bring him to Sheffield United, but again he was only coming on as a sub, getting one game and then out again, and you know, you just need a run of games, and even then it's that goal coming. I think he was there a season before he got his first goal, wasn't he?
Well, Hull City have a corner kick now. Dimitrios Pelkas helped them earn it, and Jean-Michel Seri. It's a flamboyant international lineup that Hull City have got at the moment, isn't it? Here's Seri with a corner kick into the far post, and the referee's blown his whistle for a foul. Got a double substitution coming at the same time, both for Sheffield United, because Hull have used all their subs up. James McAtee will come on into the midfield to shore things up, and Oliver Arblaster will be the second of those changes for Sheffield United. Sander Berger scored the second goal, and the man who's effectively put it out of reach of Hull City is the first to come off and also to be replaced. Tommy Doyle, who I think has been terrific for Sheffield United today.
No, he has.
What another great Manchester City youngster.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it plays a massive part as well that they're going to a team that's going to be as dominant. You know, they can actually get the ball down, play the way that they can. You know, and there's teams in the Championship that play a certain way, and I think there's a lot of kind of thought put into that from the parent clubs, you know.
So onto the field, Oliver Arblaster to replace Tommy Doyle, the young gem. Arblaster right into the centre, pretty much strengthening up the midfield. McAtee and Arblaster. There's Fodringham with a long kick out. Eventually drops for a first touch for Oliver Arblaster. Hull City, though, have other ideas, and the ball's pumped down the left-hand channel, only for it to be pushed out of play by Chris Basham, brought on as a sub in the game when there was an early injury to Max Lowe, with 2 minutes of normal time left on the giant scoreboard to our right-hand side, and then an extended period of injury time to play. There's Jean-Michel Seri, finds the feet of Dimitrios Pelkas. Pelkas out wide to Louis Coyle, but not a great pass from him. It's held play up a bit. Seri once more, curling cross into the box. Fodringham came and then moved back. Shouts a handball from some of the home fans, but Baldock's claiming it was high on the arm, and the referee's not interested in any appeals either.
He's given the free kick, hasn't he? I think it's been a push on Baldock there. The ball did, I think, come off the arm, but the push came first from Ryan Longman. It was. I just don't think he has to put any part of him on. Balled up there, just go up and win that header.
Hull City 2, Hull City 0, Sheffield United 2. Apologies. Is what we've got at the moment on TalkSport 2. And I was just checking out the score from Huddersfield Blackpool. Blackpool still with a 1-goal lead there. It's into the 90th minute, so they're into stoppage time as well. Reading beat Stoke 2-1 earlier today. In the Premier League, Brighton 5-2 victors over Leicester City. Manchester United and Arsenal are goalless after 22 minutes of play. Updates of that one on TalkSport. And what a massive week we've got coming up on TalkSport on the network as well. Tuesday, kick-off live, Sevilla against Man City. Champions League live on Wednesday, Napoli, Liverpool, Tottenham, Marseille. That has all the hallmarks of two great fixtures. Well, on Thursday in the Europa League live, Zurich against Arsenal. Adrian Durham will certainly be getting the air miles in as he goes round the grounds and brings you the very best possible coverage from all those European ties. Hopefully you've enjoyed the Championship coverage today on Game Day Live. Myself, Steve Hothersall, and Chris Iwelamo. Let's see, 9 additional... Would you go for 9? Would you guess 9?
It was going to be there or thereabouts. I think
got it, wasn't it?
There was a few stoppages even with whatever's went on, and I'm sure you'll find out after the game that the referee had to speak to security and stewards.
Quite a few of the Hull fans deciding time is up as Oliver Norwood smashes one into the stands just to clear any pressure away, and so it goes out. It's actually just come off a Hull player, has it? Is that what it's kicked against a Hull player? I didn't see that.
He apologised to him straight away as well, because it nearly took Louis Coyle's head off, didn't it?
So Norrington Davis with a throw-in for Sheffield United, right up next to the Hull corner flag. That throw is short. Norrington Davis is then beaten as he tries to get to it, and Louis Coyle trying to move away with possession. Hull City win themselves the referee's decision again further down the line, and it'll be left for Figueiredo to take. Turns it back to his keeper, Matt Ingram. Ingram out to Greaves on the left. Further forward it's played on that left channel. Well, certainly Shota Arveladze has had a chance to see plenty of new faces out there because he's used all his substitutions today. So it's a little bit of game time if you're trying to find some positives for him.
Well, that's it. He has a good look at them as well. They're up against a very good side here as well, but it's a big job. He's come in. They're ahead of where they expect to be, I think, at the present minute. Although there will be a plan to get them to the Premier League, but there's going to be more investment, more players coming in. But they're playing today. We've not seen the way that Hull can play. They've not won all the home games for the reason that they don't deliver performances.
Well, at the moment, being shepherded into the corner was Arblaster. He's managed to work himself a throw-in next to his own corner flag. We're in the 9 minutes of added on time on TalkSport 2 in this Championship fixture that will see Sheffield United rise back to the top of the Championship table. Norwich were there yesterday. Reading made their way to second spot today, and now Sheffield United leapfrog the 2. For Hull City, of course, the realistic ambition, a top half finish would probably please the club and the owner. And the owner, Akon Ilikali, has big ambitions for the seasons to come. But they have the ball at their back line at the moment. It's Sean McLaughlin down the left wing. Infield to Seri. Now into the centre of the park and over to the right-hand side, and Dimitrios Pelkas. Pelkas with a telling ball down that right wing. Trying to meet it was Louis Coyle. And his energy is relentless. It has been for Hull City throughout today. Not had that much reward for what he's tried to do, but it has gone out for a corner, this. So Pelkas for Hull City. Right at the end of the game. Corner from the right-hand side for the Tigers. It's an outswinger. Comes out of the box and will be chased away back to the halfway line. Coyle once more. Dinks one in. Up that line. for Pelkas again. Linesman raised his flag on this near side, and it's a decision that goes Sheffield United's way.
Yeah, Pelkas, I think it looks like he's very much a technical player. Really looks very, very decent. A little bit lazy there not to get back on side, but fantastic ball to Louis Coyle just a couple of minutes ago there. The weight of pass was excellent. It had to be defended well again, which by Norrington Davies, that he's done that but all game, isn't it? He's just seen the danger, read it well, followed his man all the way.
I think in Hull's defence as well, in terms of the start of their season, which has been fairly decent. They played some championship hopefuls, not only in Sheffield United, but Norwich, Burnley, West Brom as well. They've had some fairly tough fixtures so far.
Yeah, they got the win at Norwich, draw at Burnley, so the question is they got to kind of get that consistent level. The injuries do play a part though, Stephen. I think it does stretch the squad.
Hull win the ball there through Seri, and then sort of clotheslined was Pelkas. Referee allowed things to go on, and so it'll be brought out from Ingram's goal. So Greaves on the left hand side, Seri chips it forward, feet of Regan Slater. Greaves once more, and Slater gives to Seri. Possession very much for the home side as the game's drawing to a close, with their number 16 now, Ryan Longman. 2 for Sheffield United, trying to prevent any late consolation goal going the way of Hull City. Eventually that pass by Hull goes out behind the dead ball line and is a goal kick for Wes Fodringham. So Fodringham to place it down. You've probably heard for the past 10 minutes those Sheffield United fans relentlessly banging away in the corner, enjoying their afternoon. It hasn't been that much of a trip for them in terms of distance. Boy, they've enjoyed it. Yeah,
they'll be delighted as well with the performance, seeing goals. Their team are doing that in abundance at the minute, so you know what, it's quality, it's a real professional performance. Again, it's not done. The clean sheet is a must, and take that on into the next game. But you can still see that Sheffield United, they're barking orders at each other, making sure they're pressing high as well, and they have been relentless today.
Hull City with possession again. Centre back with a long ball up towards Louis Coyle, who went in the job with Norrington Davis, and Coyle ended up in a heap on the floor, but they have got to throw in from it, only to send that backwards. And McLaughlin to his keeper Ingram. Seri's dropping in the hole, hoping that he can be an outlet for Jacob Greaves. Sheffield United still pressing, still asking those questions in areas that might upset Hull City. And here go Hull down the right. Coyle comes infield after the pass from Figueiredo. Referee blows his whistle. There's a little bit of argy-bargy down there. And an outstretched arm from Louis Coyle, probably in frustration. And then someone's pushed at Ryan Brewster, who's fallen back and tumbled over. And there's a crowd of players going head to head now.
And the referee just standing back and just watching it all from a distance. He's only brought the yellow card out, in fairness to him. Has he got the red in his hand as well? No, I think he's only got the yellow card, Stephen.
Well, I think you raise an arm. The question is, should you be dismissed? Now, whether Ryan Brewster made too much of that or not is unclear. Probably have to watch it on a replay. Ryan's just got a yellow card for his involvement. Figueiredo's got one for his. So both reprimanded.
He's done his job, the referee. I think that was spot on.
Good referee, and everyone's calm, aren't they?
Yep.
And Hull, of course, the frustration just bubbling over on an afternoon that hasn't really seen much go their way. We're drawing into the final minute seconds of this fixture, and Jean-Michel Seri with a free kick for Hull City. Hull's number 24, right-footed, plants this one towards the penalty spot. Fodringham grabs hold of it, 2 hands, and the referee having 1 or 2 glances at his watch. Mr. Donoghue in charge today at the MKM Stadium. 20,426 inside here, largest crowd at Hull City for 5 years. It's a reflection on the interest and the positivity, the new ownership and the team are creating around here, but it's the team right up at the top end of the championship that are stealing the spoils. Coyle heads it forward. Seri gets a touch. Comes back and then is blasted upfield by Egan. Chase from Rhian Brewster. Referee calls time on it. Sheffield United are back on top of the championship table. And not only that, they've won their first game away from Bramall Lane. It's been a big day for them. The 2 goal scorers making their mark. Oliver Norwood with a 3rd goal in 3 games after that extended drought he experienced. And Sander Berger putting the points beyond doubt with a sublime piece of brilliance later in the second half.